Alright, so I'm gonna pick up where I left off in Tale of Dreams Plucked from Fire. Now, I think I actually need a Cthulhu for this, so let's steal one. Yeah, I don't have to worry about those slimes. I'm like way out of there. As expected, the spirit door below is connected to one in these ruins, such that the passage may extend into the skies. The woven scroll records rightly, or the woven scrolls record rightly. Ah, I'm so proud of myself for believing in them. Rawr! Yes, yes, and you're awesome for cooperating with me, Kalor. Ha! What an adorable little fella you are. How would you like to jump ship over to me, 3 square meals of 1 grain fruit guaranteed. One for each meal is kinda sad, let's be real. Now, don't you go looking down on the grain fruit. It's a real hit amongst Saurians, and it's healthy for them too. Heh, I'll take that as a no, then. Ah, to be so close. I'm getting a little envious. We were around when Kalor first opened his eyes. You didn't have a chance to start with. That's so, that close. Huh. That may make for a very painful goodbye if that time should come, though. Alright, we're about to reach the upper sanctum, but, let me take 5 real quick. Goodness, my back hurts. Has it always been that way? Oh, come on, it's not that bad. You know, you leave yourself open to tricks by constantly taking people so seriously. If anything, my back pains decreased mysteriously since meeting you. I wonder what it is. Is there something special about your body, and would that work with a piece of it as if that? And would that work with a piece of it of any size, like say a thumb? Would you mind giving one to me? I'd give you mine in exchange. No thanks. That's scary. What a shame. Excuse you, it would be weirder if anyone agreed to that. Ah, all right. Just a bit longer, and the pain in my back should subside, and then we can head to the upper sanctum together. Oh, that ended that segment. Hmm. Go ahead and collect the stuff, and then I'll just continue for a bit longer. Okay, let's grab this. How do I enter it? What? Okay, yeah, I do have to. There we go. That worked. I don't know how that worked, but that worked. Oh, looky! I have yet to start turning those in. I've turned in a couple of them, but that's about it. Haven't turned in much of any. So, this is the upper sanctum, huh? From down below, you'd think it was all gray and empty up here. Rawr! Who'd have thought it'd be like this? It would be like, yeah, that is what she says. Okay, indeed, it is said that the floating matter here is held together by the power of phlogiston, itself a highly vigorous energy source. It's a strange phenomenon, but that's the best way to understand it for now. This also explains not only why grass and flowers grow above it, but also how it warms cooled earth anew and ignites a conflagration of souls in the darkness. This is the phlogiston, won for us by the Sage of the Stolen Flame, snatched from the very claws of the giant dragon. And speaking of which, that reminds me, when some people in the tribe lay eyes upon the upper sanctum, they have the nerve to doubt that a mere human could create such floating islands through the power of phlogiston, thus concluding that the Sage of Stolen Flame must have been a kind of dragon too. Rar? People are free to think what they want. I understand that changing the way other people think about the world can be nigh on impossible, but why if it doesn't drive me up a wall? Just because they couldn't do it themselves, they insist that anyone who could have must have been superhuman. I'd rather not hang around with people who have such a losing mentality. Anyway, what about the treasure and the elixir? Given that we've come so far, it doesn't look like there's much for us here. Rawr. You didn't actually think this was going to be that simple, did you? We're being put to the test by the mad sage of the stolen flame, after all. If the ancient scrolls are right, we must find some mechanism to activate, complete the final trial, and then reach the center of the upper sanctum. But I have no more idea than you as to what this so-called center is supposed to look like. Thinking back, I'm sure the images of the floating islands I've seen before were a bit different from what we're seeing now. But it's possible that as I've aged, even my memory, which I was once so proud of, is becoming unreliable. Anyway, seeing as we've come this far, let's rely on our tuition instead. So how are we going to activate these mechanisms? You should be able to activate them using phlogiston, just like with phlogiston engravings. That's what's shown in the scrolls, anyhow. Apparently, the phlogiston chiselliths are all over Natlan are based on the mechanisms here, making these mechanisms incredible relics in and of themselves. Well, lad. Oh my god. Well, lad, you've shown great promise so far. Time you went and gave it a try. Well, lad, you've shown great promise so far. Time you went and gave it a try, Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Oh, I don't really... Can't really be in this. These are some pretty flowers. I hope we get these for our teapot. Oh, look at all the birdies! Hi, birdies! Why'd you come in then if you're just gonna fly away?
I wonder if this chest is some kind of trick.
Let's not do that just yet.
Gather! Order guide you.
Life goes on.
Now disappear!
Well, that happened. And then let's get this chest I just saw over here.
I wonder if this chest is some kind of trick.
Head to the last. Those that would receive. I hate that. I hate that so much. I'd love to read those little blurbs that come up, but it takes too long to read them aloud. They don't give me enough time. Especially since I stumble over my words. Waypoint. Wait, I should be trying to get seeds for that. Wish I had realized that earlier when I was collecting them. Oopsies. Those that receive the flame complete the trial and head to the floating island. Woo! This should be the last mechanism. This one's no different from the others. Chikya, you sure you haven't fallen for some kind of trick? Rawr! Of course not. When it comes to deciphering ancient scrolls, I have great confidence. A certain degree of confidence in my abilities. Your confidence is shrinking by the second. Yeah, help! Anyway, I'm fairly sure this isn't the last mechanism. If I remember rightly, it should be larger and more complete. Floating islands. Young lad, irrespective of the great promise you've shown, no one will understand you unless you speak in full sentences. As for whether the treasure is real and the elixir really exists, well, you only know once we've given it a try. Rawr! If it doesn't work this time, it'll work the next, and if not here, then somewhere else. As long as you stay in the game, a miracle's bound to happen sooner or later. Your optimism really knows no bounds. I'll take that as a compliment. Rawr! See? Kalor's excited too. Come on, then, traveler. Use Flotion to activate the mechanism. that. Let's... Oh shit. Do I hop in here? I hop in there. Okay, now it's flying next to me. Good thing I got lots of practice for this already. Trying to also read the stuff that's going on and keep an eye on what's happening on the screen. Okay, so we came across an inscription. They were surprised that it activated without us touching it or something, and it just continued on. I think it was because we collected enough of the little orb thingies. And now we're heading towards the inner sanctum of the floating islands. And I saw a treasure chest. And there's that one.
I wonder if this chest is some kind of trick.
Just going around to check to make sure there's not anything else hidden. Just what I was looking
I wonder
for.
if this chest is some kind of trick.
And this. Let's see if there's a chest that pops up over here. Azure Obsidian Fragment. That's an interesting piece of stone. Alright, so it's telling us to go over here. I kind of get the feeling that these are enemies. And sleeping? Question mark? That looks kind of like an eye there. Hey, that's what I thought. Well, I never. A hidden island in the center of the upper sanctum. Ah, and there I was wondering why it looked so different from what I saw in the pictures. So my memory's fine after all. I wouldn't be in charge of looking at after all those ancient woven scrolls if it wasn't, But apart from that, even larger rock in the middle, there's nothing else here. Or could this giant rock itself be the sage's legendary gift? Rar? At this point, I'm generally stumped. In all the scrolls I've seen, when the heroes pass the trial and reach this place, they should sense the spirit of the Sage of the Stolen Flame. As long as you've reached this place by passing the trial, you're supposed to feel as if you're being called somehow. But I have no idea what that means in practice. I was under the impression that I'd be able to work that out once I got here. That I could... Looks like that was awful. That was wishful thinking. Stretch out your hand, chosen of reach out. This is the final trial. With this light upon the temple within you. Ah. Rar! Then, do you know what it means? Rar! You saw something? You saw something? Gracious me, so the one worthy of the gift was you after all, young lad. Huh? Paimon didn't see anything either. Weird. I mean, he was the one who completed all the puzzles and challenges. You just tagged along. I saw a golden pattern. Rar! Rar! A golden pattern? You mean the same one you saw the first time you met Kalur? Wait, Paimon thought you were just seeing things back there. Rar! Rar! Kalur, telling Paimon to look up's no use. She can't see it. But seeing as you've said it's there, it's definitely the same person that left that golden pattern before. So maybe the one that left it behind was the Sage of the Stolen Flame? What? What? You mean to say that you've previously been given a sign by the Sage of the Stolen Flame? I said you had a bright future ahead of you, lad, and what lies before you now but a future oh so radiant. I knew you'd show great promise. I wouldn't have taken a shine to you otherwise. So, have you figured out how to receive the gift? Roar! Yeah, I just have to reach out towards the giant stone tablet.
Solidified!
Sacred name, fortune preserver, go. Surprise! Step on up! Cue the spot!
Here comes the finale.
This is order. Stabilize!
Surprise! Step on up! Be amazed!
Solidified!
What's up with all the birds? The water level has risen somewhat, and the spring's now full of floation. The water below my knees is warm, and I can feel warmth through my limbs. A lovely sensation. So the sage's gift wasn't an elixir that can cure all injuries, but rather the hot spring here. Paimon's not exactly surprised, given the people of the springs aren't far off. Rawr! Kalor's looking pretty cozy there. This isn't just any old spring, little floaty Paimon. Once a hero who has been chosen bathes in the spring, they'll be granted the power to wield floation. Huh, really? So what'll happen if Paimon dives in? good question. Yes, I think I know. You'd still be Paimon, just a soaking wet one. What? Paimon thought she might get to use Flotion too, and transformed into some kind of super awesome Pyro Paimon. Sadly, I think not, because you haven't been chosen. Wait a minute. Chikia, you knew that this hot spring would be the final gift, yet you claimed you were searching for an elixir that can cure all injuries, and that you'd share it with us too? There are many types of injury in the world. How could you possibly expect a single elixir to be able to heal them all? But when it comes down to it, wisdom is the solution to all our worries. Yes, I tricked you this time, little Paimon. But when we make mistakes, we learn from them and take one step closer to resolving our worries. Isn't that a wonderful outcome, too? Huh. Okay, that actually kind of makes sense. So have your injuries been cured? No, not at all. My heart still aches from the niggling pain of all my various injuries. And in that sense, I've been tricked as well. Tricked terribly by myself. Even if I took a bath in a hot spring filled with lotion, I would still be unable to use it. In the past, so the ancient scrolls say, tribespeople who could not already wield lotion only ever learned to do so by passing the trial. So it hasn't been any effect at all. Wait, you're clearly from that land, but you can't use flotion? Rar? Paimon, you know these delayed responses of yours can be quite hurtful at a critical moment like this. Yes, nearly everyone in Outland can use flotion, but nearly is not all. When I was very young, I once suffered a grievous injury in connection with the abyss. It was a miracle that I even survived, and I was in terrible health. I told you I could jump great distances with an ichthyosaur on my back, but I'd be fooling you, for ichthyosaurs can float up and move themselves as light as feathers, so they don't weigh a thing. It may well be due to this injury that I am unable to use Flotion. No matter what I try, I simply can't do it. I've racked my brain and poured all kinds of different scrolls. Oh, so this could be the reason why every time she's around Traveler, she feels better. Some of the residual effect of the abyss attack on her, which means there is a chance that if we suck it out of her, it could help her. Though others view them as virtually obsolete, I am well versed in analyzing Flotion engravings through patterns. I put lots of effort into memorizing all the meanings, honing a great memory while doing so. For me, teaching the children of our tribe the basics about Flotion was also an opportunity to observe how they would discover the ability to use it. And speaking of which, I am quite popular with the children. I know everything there is to know about Flotion, and the more I understand, the more in awe of it I am. But the more awe I feel, the more regret and frustration I feel for not being able to wield it myself. Yeah, it was all thanks to you that we were able to make it through all those trials. I understand that to learn skills from our ancient ancestors, sacrifices must be made. But I simply don't have that kind of courage. Perhaps that's why I can't use Flotion. Chikia? Rawr. It's alright. I came to terms with it a long time ago. If it doesn't work this time, there's always next time. I'll find a way, eventually. Thank you so much. I'm grateful for everything you've done for me, Traveler. I know I keep saying it, but you have a fine future ahead of you, lad. Not one you are amazing. Not only are you amazingly talented, but you're so kind as well. Unlike me, for whom everything seems to be set in place now, lad, I'm sure you'll have many more incredible adventures to look forward to. I'm a little jealous, to be honest. Traveler, young lad full of promise, wherever the road takes you, may your travels be smooth forever and always. And the same to you. I'm sure you'll achieve your aspirations. Even if there's no elixir that can cure all injuries, Paimon's sure you'll find an elixir that can cure your injuries. Rawr! Thank you, Paimon, Traveler, and last but not least, Kalor. Your words have generally moved me, Traveler. Really, I'm touched by what you've said, lad, because you're someone that people can count on. All right, let me rest here a while longer. This hot spring's mighty relaxing after all. I'll soak in here for a bit, then get back to poring through ancient scrolls for a cure. Ah, I might be in for a scolding for running off from home, though. But just as you said, lad, I'll have to work hard to achieve my aspirations. Alrighty. Do 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 do. They didn't even animate bits of steam coming up off the water from it being a hot spring. I'm kind of sad about that. Nope, that's it. Let's do the Kahulasaur thing. And see where this takes us. Oh, it takes us up to another one. Is this the one where we started at? I think this is the one where we started at. It is the one where we started at. Okay. I want to try to get to that one island off to the side because I don't think I've been to that one. We'll find out when I get there. Figured might as well explore all the stuff up here while I'm up here. That little one right there. I don't think I've been to that one. Though it seems like there's a thing going to all the islands now. Yeah, I had not been to this one yet. Because there are mushrooms here I have yet to collect. Oh, I see you. They're kind of like Sealies, but different.
I wonder if this chest is some kind of trick.
All right. So that's going to be the end of that quest. So I'll see you guys later.